more than the metrics. He reads that grit. No hype trains, no agency deals. He break down tape, no cap, just real. Every year he called names no one knew. Then April hits, boom, round two. He saw it coming. Y'all just scrolling. He dig through film, all the rest.
Boom! Greetings from YouTubeville. Once again, Danny Savage, Draft Guru, coming at you with a prospect for the fall of 2025 and 2026 NFL Draft. If you like the video, subscribe, give it a like. It don't cost a dime. All right, we're going to be talking about Alabama center Parker Brailsford. Now, he originally started at Washington. He was at Washington for 2 years, freshman All-American, started all his games. He started 2 games at guard. Am I saying he's a guard? No, but in a pinch, in an emergency, yeah, he can play guard in an emergency. So, like I said, he comes to Alabama. Oh my God. I still have nightmares over Alabama's center in 2023 versus Michigan in the national championship playoffs. Seth McLuhan, I think his name was. He fucking still gives me nightmares, bro. He had to transfer to Ohio State because he had death threats. Bro, he had like 20 bad snaps that game, bro. I think after that game, that kid walked straight home. And ironic, he goes to Ohio State. So this kid jumps in the portal, comes into Alabama flawlessly, just steps right into the job at center. Over 66 knockdowns. Pancakes. Call them pancakes back in my day. Now they call them knockdowns, I guess. I don't know why. He gave up a half a sack. I mean, listen, that's just me nitpicking. But honestly, centers are not supposed to give up any sacks. Because, listen, I'm nitpicking. It could have been bad communication. Because, I mean, listen, you got 2 goons to the left, to the right of you. It could have been bad communication. It could not have even have been his fault. We don't know. Going into this season, I can see. How can I phrase this? If Tyler Booker is a success at Dallas, and now the year before, J.C. Ransom, I think his name was, Titans took him. So now the jury's still out on him if he's a baller or not. We'll know more this year. But now, if Booker can come into Dallas and dominate, what did I say before, people? Trends. If you don't think excuse my language, if you don't think scouts and coaches look for it, that's lazy scouting, though, in my opinion, because you scout the helmet, not the player. But if those 2 kids have really great seasons, another thing, his stock is gonna rise. If both kids have horrendous seasons, his stock is gonna fall. Is he my number 1 center? I'm gonna say right now, no. But this is just a preseason watch list, so it is what it is. But he's a name to look out for. I'm gonna drop some videos in the comment section you can hit on. And honestly, I've been I think I've only dropped like 3 or 4 centers. So I'm gonna drop probably about 2-3 more centers. So we all know, bro. Well, not everybody. If you know, you know, but it's won and it's lost up front. Because we all know when you rock it with the GWO for life. Dog Pound, what's up? Savage, does Bama have a top 10 O-line in the country, you'd say? it's way too hard to say now, just on paper. This is just the start of my preseason watch list, which I'll be at mid 300s by like the end of August. But their left tackle that everyone's blowing up, and I did my video on him very early. Uh, his Jaden Proctor, I think. I did his video on him early. His footwork is horrendous, bro. Horrendous. Left tackle. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think this past season, every single offensive lineman on Alabama, it was a favor to them that their quarterback was really a running back, if that makes any sense. They did have their right tackle left. He left. He went to Nebraska. He gave up only 30 pressures last year. But that kid Proctor, I'm pretty sure his name is. He's like 6'7", 370. Bro, that's way too. You're gonna get eaten up at left tackle at that size, and his footwork is horrendous. I viewed him as a right tackle, and honestly, I think his best position would be a guard in the NFL. But it's way too early to say, oh, man, top 10 lineman. Who do I think has a strong offensive line just off the top of my head? Penn State's not getting a lot of talk about. They have a good offensive line. Ohio State, but these teams just reload, bro. Michigan has a good offensive line. Texas Tech went out and just bought an offensive line. Texas Tech spent $40 million on this team. Like I said, Michigan, Notre Dame. It's tough, but to say now a top 10 offensive line, yeah, that's a tough one. You can probably I can answer that by October. I'll know by October. Give me like 5 games. But you know what the crazy part is? The sad part is you can have 5 monsters along the offensive line, and that one weak link that's letting his man in the backfield every single play and blowing up the play can make the other 4 guys look bad to the average fan. But to a guy like me, it'll be like, yo, this guy sucks. Let's get him out of here. Let's get somebody else in. But yeah, it's way too early. Honestly, if I just had to go top 10 lines right now, I think I would go Miami, University of Miami. Minga. So they got some big boys. And I'll tell you right now, their right tackle, Francis Mugana, he's like 6'6", 360, and he has the highest. Okay, they measure your body fat. So he's like 6'6", 360, and he has the least amount of fat and the most amount of muscle on his body for the entire team. He has started since freshman of day one. This is his 3rd year starting. The only thing that might knock him down a few slots is he's a right tackle only. But I'll take that kid all day long. He gets out of excuse me. If he gets out of the top 20 in the draft, I would be shocked. But I've also said too, this class, it's a stronger right tackle class than it is a left tackle class. My number 1 left tackle is Isaiah World out of Oregon. But this is, like I said, it's way early. We're just having fun. Give me a minute. I'm going to drop a video as a kid in the comment section. And I'm going to drop some more. Got to drop some more centers. And I don't know. I'm behind. I got to drop a few more players. Because you don't know when you rock with GWO. Yo, check out that kid, Francis Mugano, right tackle the U for Dallas. Excuse me, right tackle the U, Miami. Bro, I would love for him to be in Dallas. Sad part is Dallas might be drafted an offensive tackle next year. Let's be honest. Terrence Steele, Tyler Guyton. Ooh. Bama has the number one O line. I guess. Justin, hey, it's let's see. What's the Alabama schedule this year? Hold on. Da, da, da. Let's see. Alabama. Let's see their schedule. All right. Right. You start off with Florida State. D-line too. Okay, Justin. So it's safe to say you're an Alabama fan, Justin. Well, I just dropped you both of their defensive tackles. I like Keon Sabb, the safety. I like Deontay Lawson. I did him already. No, LJ Overton. I did him already. All right. You start off with Florida State. You should beat them. Then you got Louisiana Monroe. That should be like 70-0. And you play Wisconsin. You play Georgia. Let's see. Vanderbilt, Tennessee, Missouri, South Carolina, LSU, Eastern Illinois. That should be a listen. I'll tell you what. Any team that plays Clemson, so I'll tell you right now, in my opinion, Penn State has an underrated defensive line too. In my opinion, Clemson has, in my opinion, every kid on Clemson's defensive line is going to get drafted. And the one kid I like, the Monty Kelpart, is not getting no love from anybody. And he's only like 6'5", 320. So hopefully in the college playoffs, I can see Alabama play Clemson. And then we could all say who's number one, who's number two. But at the end of the day, it should go about who wins the game. Do you really care if your team has the number one defensive line if they lose? Same thing. But like I said, last year, Alabama's O-line, they had a run. Let's be honest, bro. They had a running back playing quarterback. So if you don't think that eliminated a hell of a lot of sacks from Bama's O-line last year, that did. I'm sorry. Bama has one of the most returning defensive production. Well, like I said, they got a fucking easy, excuse my language, they got an easy ass schedule. So, I mean, what, Oklahoma, Missouri, Auburn, they have an easy schedule, bro. So, like I said, hopefully me and you will get to see them play Clemson in the playoffs. Then we'll see how good. I see everyone on Clemson's D-line getting drafted. And two of the kids are going to be round one. The other two will be off the board by round three. That's just my opinion. And Clemson's not even my team. It just is what it is. Like I said, thank you, everybody, thank you, Justin. Thank you, Dog Pound, for jumping in the chat. Just give me a minute. Let me drop a video on Parker Brailsford, and he'll be in the comment section. We don't have an easy schedule, maybe to you. Okay, well, let's look at it again. I like friendly competition, friendly chatter. Okay. Okay, first game of the year, Florida State. Are we calling them world beaters? All right. Next game, Louisiana Monroe. They probably got paid $2 million to get their asses kicked that day. Next week, they play Wisconsin. Wisconsin is barely a 500 team in the Big Ten. But, okay. Your toughest game is Georgia. Then you play Georgia. Then you have the other powerhouse, Vanderbilt. Then you play Missouri, Tennessee. Let's be honest, man. LSU hasn't been LSU in a long time. South Carolina, Oklahoma. I mean, come on, Big 12. Oklahoma, Eastern Illinois. That game is where they rest all the starters and they play the backups. And then you finish the season against Auburn. So out of every team I mentioned, besides Georgia, forget, okay, you could go two ways. Every team I mentioned, who do you see making the playoffs? Who do you even see in having a 500 record out of all the teams I mentioned? Besides Georgia, who do you see even having a 500 record, let alone going to the playoffs? Wisconsin has a good tight end, man. Big kid. He's like 6'7" and change. I dropped him a while ago. But, hey, it's almost good. It's going to be here soon, bro. It's going to be here soon, man. But Tennessee, Missouri, LSU. Yeah, well, I gave you Georgia, but let's be honest. LSU hasn't been LSU. They're probably going to most likely probably change their coach after this season. Missouri, I don't see that. I don't see that. But like I said, listen, it's just a preseason watch list, man. You know, a couple of injuries and everything could be changed. You know, team wise. You know, so this is just a preseason watch list that I'm putting out like 300 players by probably August 15th. Then, as the season goes on, we start breaking down more players. The question is, who do you root for? I root for whoever puts money in my pocket. How about that? That's who I root for in college football. Whatever team puts money in my pocket. And I'm sorry, from that perspective, the SEC is very, very, very unpredictable. I'm sorry. It is. We'll talk about that much later in the season, but I got to talk codes, props. You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, we got a long time. We got a long way to go. But I'm running behind. I got to drop a few more players. Let's see. Parker will go first, round one, no doubt. You better have Bama on every bet. Okay, you say Parker will go on every first, right? You say like he's going to listen. He might be the first center taken, but you have to realize this past April, the first center didn't go off the board until round 3. Jared Wilson out of Georgia. So it all depends. Yet the year before, like 3 centers were round 1. So listen, it all depends on your year, and it also depends where the teams pick if they're going to take you or not. You know, but to say he's going in round 1, that's a tough. You know, I'm not going to make that statement now in July. Parker will go first round, no doubt. You better have Bama on every bet. Justin Roll Tide. Yeah, but I didn't say first center. I just said he would go first round. But hey, but he might be the first center. He might. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm going to drop another kid right now, another center. All I'm trying to say is centers. Look what have we seen the last few years? Centers, running backs, and linebackers. They just get devalued because listen, a center you have to have it up here. You could be the most least athletic person on the offensive line and get away with it at center. You just have to be the smartest. You have to call out plays. You have to call out like audibles. You have to call out the blocking schemes. A center has to be a multitasker. Not everyone can do that either. So listen, bro, if he goes to round one, God bless him, bro. Uh, but I'm going to be honest with you. So far, and it's early, I see this draft better interior. I see a better right tackle class than a left tackle class. So who knows? But this is just a preseason watch list, man. Roll Tide. My dad liked Alabama. My dad was an Alabama fan. I like your content, and I like the challenge of talking with different opinions. No, thank you. I appreciate it. Listen, I can talk football 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm gonna be coming right back at you with a center. Completely different size, shape, different conference. Because we all know when you're rocking with the GWO. Thank you, everybody, for jumping. Thank you, Justin, and thank you, Brock, for jumping in the chat. Over and out.